So no bond hearing has been requested.
All right, no bond.
Thank you.
Thank you. We can hold him at no bond for 72 hours,
Yes.
is that right?
Yes, correct.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much.
Freedmen Black Americans are exhausted. We are tired of living under a system that constantly reminds Black Americans that our lives don't hold the same value in the eyes of the law. Generation after generation, we've endured racism that's not just personal, but deeply institutional. There are two justice systems in America. When a Black person is unalived by police, the burden is always on Freedmen Black Americans to prove we deserve to live. Yet when officers abuse their power, they hide behind qualified immunity, a legal shield that protects them from accountability. It doesn't matter if someone is unarmed, handcuffed, or even a child. Freedmen Black Americans are tired of hashtags, tired of marches that lead to no meaningful change, tired of politicians who speak bold words but take timid action. We want the same basic human dignity promised to every citizen in this country. We want real justice. Take a look at footage from the Hinton encounter with police and the arraignment hearing of Rodney Hinton Jr. After those videos, I will be back with my commentary on this topic.
The recently retired 33-year veteran was working traffic patrol Friday afternoon.
I've got an officer now.
When police say he was intentionally struck by the father of a teen fatally shot the day before by an officer from a different department. Henderson later dying at the hospital.
There is a connection between these two incidents.
38-year-old Rodney Hinton Jr. is now behind bars and charged with aggravated murder. Court documents say the defendant drove across oncoming lanes of traffic through the intersection and directly at the deputy, who was wearing a fluorescent vest. In court, Hinton's public defender calling this an emotionally charged situation. The crash happening less than 3 hours after his family says Hinton met with Cincinnati police to review body camera videos showing the shooting of his 18-year-old son, Ryan Hinton. The videos, now publicly released, show Hinton running and being shot by city police. Cincinnati police say the teen was armed and pointed a gun toward an officer who was responding to a call of a stolen vehicle.
He's got a gun! He's got a gun! On your right! On your right!
Hinton was shot about 6 seconds after officers get out of their vehicles.
Where will the defendant be housed, and will he be safe? And I ask that because he was transferred, as I understand it, to Clermont County yesterday.
That's correct.
On my order.
That's correct.
And will he be returned to Clermont County until Tuesday?
It's all understanding. You will try to clarify.
And you have a safe environment for him there in Clermont County?
Yes, sir.
You'll return him on Tuesday, May the 6th at 8:30 a.m. for a hearing at 9 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, for the record, we'd ask the court to put a bond on him now, but we understand that so no bond hearing has been requested.
All right, no bond.
Thank you.
Thank you. We can hold him at no bond for 72 hours,
Yes,
is that
sir.
right?
Yes, correct.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No, thank you all. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
America is a land built on blood, on the sweat and suffering of the people it has enslaved, displaced, and silenced. But tell that truth today, and they call it divisive. They call it unpatriotic. They want you to believe that history is just a collection of dates and figures, stripped of the brutality, the deception, the theft. They tell you the Trail of Tears was just relocation, that the Colfax Massacre, Wilmington Coup and Massacre, Rosewood Massacre, Atlanta Race Massacre, Ocoee Massacre, Tulsa Massacre, Harlem Race Massacres of 1943 and 1964 was just riots, and that Jim Crow was merely a setback. What they refuse to admit is that America was never a nation of freedom. It was a nation of conquest, built on white supremacy, and it has never stopped being one. And that is why they are so desperate to erase the past. You see, history, real history, has power. It reveals the truth of this nation, of what was done and what is still being done. They call it critical race theory today, but it's just the truth, and that's why they fight so hard to bury it. From school boards banning books, to politicians scrubbing slavery from textbooks, to social media platforms silencing voices that dare speak honestly about America's past. White supremacy is culturally ingrained into every aspect of white society, in the home, school, religion, and politics. But tell me, what does it say about a people who fear history? It says they know their hands are bloody, and they are terrified that their children will ask them why. Because the truth would destroy their illusion of innocence. The same way it did when the world saw Black Wall Street burn. The same way it did when Jim Crow's chains were exposed for what they were. The same way it did when the Southern strategy was revealed as a blueprint for racial control, not democracy. But America has always had a strategy. Slave patrols became the police. Redlining became modern real estate steering. The plantation became the prison. And now, they want to act like none of it happened. They want to rewrite history to keep future generations obedient, ignorant, docile. And yet, what they don't understand is that you cannot erase pain. You cannot erase memory. You cannot erase the reality of people who have suffered and endured. This nation made laws to steal land from Native people. The Homestead Act gave free land to whites while barring Black Freedmen Americans from ownership. The Immigration Act of 1924 made sure America remained a white country, closing its doors to those it deemed unfit. And when we, Black Freedmen Americans, dared to build wealth, dared to thrive, they sent mobs, they sent bombs, they sent laws disguised as justice to tear down Black Freedmen Americans' communities. And it wasn't enough for them to unalive us. They had to erase us. They built highways through our neighborhoods, turning communities into ghettos. They passed California Proposition 14 to uphold segregation. They used COINTELPRO to assassinate Black leaders. They used the daughters of Confederates to put Confederate statues in our faces, not in 1865, but during the Civil Rights Movement, as a warning, as a message. And still, they want us to believe in their version of America, an America where slavery was a misunderstanding, where the Tuskegee experiment was a footnote, where mass incarceration is just an accident. No, sir. No, ma'am. White supremacy is in the bones of this country, in the schools, the churches, the homes, the politics. It is a disease, and they refuse to cure it. But there is something they should fear more than the truth being known. They should fear what happens when the next generation realizes they have been lied to. What happens when young people of all colors understand that history was stolen from them, that their textbooks were propaganda, that their teachers were ordered to deceive. A people who know they have been deceived do not trust, and a people who do not trust begin to question everything. That is what America fears most, not the past, but the reckoning it demands. And that reckoning is coming. No matter how many books they ban, no matter how many voices they silence, no matter how many lies they tell, truth is like a flame. It spreads. And once it touches the people, it cannot be extinguished. The question is not whether America will reckon with its past. The question is whether America will survive what it has done. Need more people like this man who has the fearlessness to speak truth to power. Tell me what you think about this topic. Hope you find the information in this video informative. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment. Thanks for watching.